It's the 10 to 1 podcast with your host, Brad Oman, featuring Ben Conowitz and Nate Laux. And here's the podcast.
What is this?
I think it's like now that's what I call Top Gun.
Yes.
That's a very weird way to start the show.
Hey, guess what? He got it though.
Yeah.
He got it.
Yeah, it sounded like karaoke Danger Zone for sure.
Okay, I get it now. Yeah, that's fair. Weird.
No, that's great.
Weird.
You're welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
guys,
Weird Nate Yankovic. He only does instrumentals though.
A great impression.
And I won't call it a cappella because it's not quite there.
Not there. No, it is not. It's a cappella.
Yeah, he only does one part of the instrumental, so like, and he has a hard time changing between the different. It's
He doesn't
weird.
really know how to do it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right. Hey, another episode of our wonderful and lovely, long-running
See,
podcast.
yes,
the 10
The 10 to 1.
Sábado Noche Live.
Okay. You get to say that.
You could say it too.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
As a Polish, Austrian American, I'll just leave all that alone.
Do the Polish version.
Jak szubaj.
That's
not
Borat.
Even, yeah, exactly. That's not even, you're offending me, and I'm not even Polish. Glen
Powell's handsome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's very handsome.
I mean, I asked you guys.
Yeah, no, off the air you did say, are we more handsome than him?
Mm-hmm.
I said no. Brad said yes. And then he said, wait, more handsome? No, we are not.
I want to interrupt this broadcast.
Okay.
Because I, in the last episode, asked for comments on our Spotify, on our YouTube, these kind of things.
Love a good comment.
And I got a comment on our Spotify.
Oh,
on
Brad,
the last
a new one.
episode.
Brad,
Yep,
pay attention.
on the Nikki Glazer. I feel like you're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention.
I'm right here.
Okay, you're on your phone, but
You're on your computer.
Well, he's recording the podcast.
I'm producing right
He's
now.
not manually doing it. It's not like he has to crank it and type while it's recording.
no,
I'm
yeah.
literally gonna read a comment right now.
So do I have to read it or can I listen with my ears?
All right,
my
fine. All right, here's the thing, though. As listeners know, I've been trying to encourage more comments on our YouTube and
You personally, no one else has ever mentioned
No,
it.
because you gave me crap last week for it.
You did.
I think that I was the person who pointed out that Spotify comments exist.
This is really fun for the listener.
know.
Maybe just go ahead and get to the comment.
Okay, so we got a comment, all right, on our Spotify on the Nikki Glazer episode, and I have no idea what it means. So
Cool.
I'm gonna read it to
This
you.
is going to be great.
I'm going to read it to you, and you guys interpret
Yeah.
it, okay? All right, this is from Dej Berens. Thank you so much for listening to Dej. Says, back in the 80s, there was a We Are the World type song called Sun City by Artists United Against Apartheid.
Okay.
How does that relate to the episode?
That's
Dej?
the whole comment?
Yeah, Dej, I don't...
We're
get
going
it.
to have you stop. We're going to make you
So
stop.
we're going to take...
You know what?
the
No more comments.
No more comments.
Yeah, the comments isn't really working for us right now. So, so I was really hoping we'd get comments, but now my hope's kind of
If you
gone.
go to that user's profile, do you just see he comments that on a lot of
Yeah,
videos?
maybe, I wonder
the
if,
same thing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a bot or something that detects like a certain phrase and then they make that comment on there.
No, that is not at all. I mean, that is.
And there's no sketch in the
Was there
episode-
something in? That's what I was going to say. Was there something in the episode that we're not thinking of? Think about this,
I
guys.
don't think so.
Sleuth this for me.
I'm good.
I
think I'm
can't
fine.
think of anything.
I don't think so.
So thanks so much for the comments.
Do
it really,
better next time.
Really worked out well for us.
Bit of
did
a
our
swing and a
best.
miss on that one.
Maybe next week will be different.
We'll see.
So, Glen Powell episode. I'm excited to talk about this episode. He's a handsome devil. And let's start with the cold open. So, cold open, Epstein White House Briefing. Ashley Padilla played White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, fielding questions about newly released Jeffrey Epstein files and emails involving Donald Trump. James Austin Johnson brought back his Trump, as it is often the case in the cold open. What did you think about this one? This is obviously a political cold open. Longtime listeners will know what we think about those. We love politics, but we don't always believe that this is done well. Ben, what did you think about this?
So as the audience, we all know they're going to do Epstein stuff. They almost have to because the whole world's talking about it right now. I really wish they would have done something different. This was just kind of
What's going on with Epstein?
pretty mundane take, if I'm being honest.
That was pretty boring, honestly.
There wasn't a lot going on. And again, I'm not a comedy writer. I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it, but I just didn't see much here. What am I missing?
No, I don't think you're missing anything. I think Padilla is good in the role. She's doing a good job of like getting nervous about questions and like laughing them off and that kind of thing. But it's again like I talked about this last time. Is they're starting to rely too much on Trump comes in the second half instead of being there the whole time. But this didn't offer anything else that like the late night shows hadn't already covered, that hasn't already been like talked about elsewhere because it's been such a hot topic this week. If anything, I think when we get to it, I think Weekend Update hit it a lot harder and did it a lot better than the Cold Open did.
And do want to give credit where credit's due because Padilla is definitely now one of these people like, oh, by herself she can elevate an okay sketch to passable because her there was nothing wrong with her performance in this. I did laugh at some stuff she was doing, but overall, come on, guys.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. I just wish if they do these political cold opens that they create an angle there that's creative, that's different, that makes you think about something differently. And this again falls back into the trap that it is no crazier or different than the regular stuff that's happening, right? And so you're just having James Austin Johnson say things that Donald Trump would likely say himself. So, all right, moving on. Monologue by Glen Powell. Glen Powell discussed his omnipresent publicity. He says, even I'm tired of seeing my own face. Listen, Glenn, I'm not tired of seeing your face. He joked about overnight success myths and shared his acting journey from childhood commercials and safety videos in Austin, Texas. He also revealed that he was originally set to host SNL 4 years ago when Top Gun Maverick was scheduled for release, and even took a selfie with UPS driver Mitch to celebrate. And when COVID delayed that film, his hosting slot was then canceled, which I think had to have been the most disappointing.
I mean, especially knowing now how big of a fan of the show he actually is, and how the family was involved, and like that's just
how deflating that was.
Yeah.
But I will say, I loved that they brought that in. That was such a creative. I love it when they do this, where they can kind of point to hosts' love for and infatuation with the show that we love, right? When it makes you feel like, oh, they're not missing the moment of hosting SNL.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this one, Brady?
No, it was great. It was this is one of many things that just makes me love Glen Powell as a person even more. He really seems like the real deal, just like a genuine nice guy who has hit it big as a movie star, loves what he does, very personable, very cool. People love to work with him, want to talk to him, and I loved the UPS story. I thought it was well, and I fully believe that Lorne said that to him too.
Oh, absolutely.
So sorry, but without Top Gun, no one's gonna know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
was that kind of his biggest at the time?
Oh yeah.
That made him a star. Yeah.
So
and it aroused me.
Yeah, no, he's a handsome man.
So even though we all agree Glen Powell is a handsome man, apparently there's this. I learned about this weekend. There's a contingent on Reddit that I don't know if it's a meme or if it's a subreddit, where people think that Glen Powell looks like a capybara in the face. And as soon as this person said it, I was like, I can see it. But he's still pretty handsome.
I'd say, damn handsome capybara.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. That's funny.
It was creative to bring the UPS guy out, but what I loved about him is to flew him out and coach because
we flew him out and call him. He flew coach.
But maybe he didn't though. I mean,
you don't know.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke. But so we got to start working for UPS.
Yeah,
we're gonna get on this
random selfies.
Yeah.
That was great.
So jealous.
No, it was awesome.
Unbelievable.
What a cool thing.
Just got to be like totally mind blowing.
Yeah.
No, I do love this idea too of Glen Powell genuinely like talking about it with his family. I bet he thinks we lied to him.
Yeah, I bet you they had that, and that's probably something that happened like a year later, where they were randomly scrolling through their phones, like, oh my god, look at this photo. Oh my god, he probably thinks that we lied to him.
Well, I was also wondering because he did say he's like, because the women in my family are terrifying that they had to track him down. Because I was thinking, well, wait a minute.
if as much time has gone by, if he's not still working for UPS, how do you track someone like that down? You know, like you can't be like, hey, listen, I have a driver and like I'm trying, but I guess if you're Glen Powell, it makes it easier. But his family is the one who did it, so that's very interesting.
That's crazy. Yeah, maybe I hope it is a small town situation where like we live in a town with a Westfield distribution center.
Yeah.
So I could technically go and be like, hey, I'm gonna be on SNL. You remember Bobby that had this route 5 years ago? Like whatever happened with that guy? You know?
I know 3 or 4 UPS workers.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So like we know a few in the community. You know, so
I receive UPS packages.
You do. You know.
All right. Moving on, AI photos. A family visits their grandmother, played by Ashley Padilla, at an assisted living facility for Thanksgiving, bringing an app that uses AI to animate old black and white photographs. By the way, this is the last episode before Thanksgiving. Not a lot of Thanksgiving stuff in this episode.
Some kind of like a little bit of holiday, theme stuff
Not
in
a
there.
ton though. I was kind of expecting a little bit more.
It's usually not always like like it's not like a Christmas episode where
I thought Bob's versus Bangs was a pretty good Thanksgiving. No. Okay, that was not a good joke.
Huh?
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But
they all can't be winners.
But I have seen this thing though, like on Instagram, like an ad and stuff like this of how you can animate old photos. So
we talked about this. I talked about this to Ashley because Ashley's our boys, their biological father has passed on, and I go, please, for the love of God, you don't do that. Don't without like let's have a long conversation before.
I don't know. I feel like you should
just
definitely
an old photo of like him holding the kid and like turning it into a video.
Did you guys see this? Okay, did you see this on Twitter this week where like there's a company legitimately doing like AI like with people. So for instance, my mom is dead, and they would be like, that's true. They would say, okay, upload pictures of your mother, and we will create an AI avatar, and you can have conversations. And they were showing
that's tough.
Essentially what it's like. And so like and they tie it to these like emotional kind of scenes, right? You have your first kid, and you get to
but
have
like that's so dangerous. What he does to your psyche.
I know, but it's like
I hate this.
You
like
process
with the Fire
the
of
grief.
1,000 Suns.
Yeah,
exactly.
No.
Like that's a legit. And I'm like, of course it is. I'm
you
sure
are
that's
going
where it's
to
going.
ruin people's mental health.
Exactly.
That will any therapy that they made over grief is all wiped away. This is going to be the worst thing.
But you just get lost in it.
But I'll send it to you guys privately. But like because I
don't want
to find it. But it was legitimately.
My parents
like,
are still alive though.
It was like I'm talking to my mother, the AI avatar, but so are my kids, and they get to have it on their phone, so they get to talk to grandma. But it's not grandma.
Yeah, and
right?
also unless you're uploading like a bunch of videos for reference, like it's nowhere near.
No,
there's no way they can perceive it just from pictures.
No. But anyway,
but like no, I mean the AI stuff, to talk about how shitty it is as well in general. Facebook's been doing this thing now too, where it says, hey, you want to make an old memory, a little more fun, and they took a picture of my dad who is dead, and they put one of their stupid AI filters on it. They made him look like an old timey like Shakespearean kind of person. I was like, oh, cool. So now I get to know what my dead dad looks like as a fucking ghost.
That
I
was
guess
the weirdest thing, dude.
It was so annoying. Fucking meta AI bullshit.
I saw that. I was like, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Because like think about how just because and you're a pretty well adjusted guy that lost his dad, right? And honestly, that happened to you, and you're like, this is bullshit. But imagine somebody who honestly is still going through the grieving process.
Exactly.
It would literally fuck with somebody. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
We're cussing a lot.
Sorry,
right now.
swearing a lot because we're mad.
Yeah, this is something that we're passionate about, so it's okay.
Poop. So anyway, this sketch was great. Marcelo Hernandez especially just being like, well, actually we paid for it, so we're gonna do it. Like that's the typical millennial kid or Gen Z kid, whatever they are these days.
But like just the way that it messed up the photos was so perfect.
Oh, it's so good.
There was
We've
perfect
seen
escalation
AI do
in
this,
right?
yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
escalation.
Wonderful.
The dog got me.
Yeah, the two-tailed dog was great. His old friend with no balls.
Yep.
Yeah, the Ken doll situation was really funny.
that's
Having him
so
show
good.
up in the next photo was also
It's
hilarious.
really great, great. Yeah, no notes. I really had a good time with this one. Great
Mikey
job.
Day, Glen Powell, and I thought Ashley Padilla again didn't have a ton to do, but she was great as the old
No, of course she
grandma.
did. Yeah, she was good.
And so she's there's a lot of talk online right now, and a lot of I think there's been some articles written about what a great job she's doing, and they're all merited. She's doing a great job. All right, moving on. This is a pre-recorded I Miss My Ex's Dad, a country music video featuring Tommy Brennan and Ben Marshall as singers lamenting missing their ex-girlfriends dads. Glen Powell appears as one of the dads of this one. This is a song. What did you guys think of this? I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought the song was good. I didn't think the song was great. So it didn't have the magic for me. Like, it didn't really capture me as something I'm going to remember forever. But I didn't hate it, though. So
I think that there's a part of it that I was frustrated by because it felt like the most focus was on Glen Powell's character, and then Keenan's character was just kind of there to allow for an additional person so that it wasn't just one person singing the song. Right. And I will poke at SNL a little bit to show this problem that they have now is throughout this sketch, in addition to showing your ex's dad, you're also showing your exes. And unfortunately, you can't show the ex who is the daughter of Kenan Thompson because they
Kenan's
don't
daughter,
have
not
a
pictured.
black woman on the SNL cast right now, which is a really big problem.
Yeah, they got rid of Ego, and they're paying for it.
Yeah, that was a really big issue. But otherwise, I did like the song. I thought it was pretty catchy, pretty well done. It was nice seeing Tommy Brennan do something like this and do a very good job. But yeah, it was missing a little bit of that secret sauce that would have like pushed it into being something that was truly great. But I still really liked what it did.
Do you think they asked Olivia Dean to be in the sketch?
Probably not,
because they could have, right? She could have played,
but she's not
role.
a country artist.
No. To be a black actress that would play.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably not an actor though. I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. You would think that they'd be like, okay, looking around. Like,
why are we casting Kenan here?
I will admit too. I also wasn't sure if Olivia Dean was black or Hispanic or something like that because her.
I'm not allowed to ask.
What'd you think of this?
I have no opinion. No, I honestly, the makeup and wardrobe was I get it. Like, he's supposed to be I miss my ex's dad. The really long ponytail and that kind of threw me a little bit. It didn't seem like, I don't know. It didn't.
You mean Glenn's costume?
Yeah, it didn't really fit the bill for like what I envisioned as like that kind of stepdad or that kind of ex-dad that you would really
father-in-law.
Yeah, I don't know. It just that weirded me out a little bit. He was just too much of a creeper looking guy. I don't know. Weird.
Well, so you're judging a book by its cover.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't we always?
I do appreciate, though, taking something that people don't think about and making something comedic from it. This idea that you break up with someone and you miss their family is a common thing, right? Where you're like, oh, I actually...
Man, I really got along with her brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. There's an element there where it's like, oh, actually... I forgot. I'm actually ending these relationships as well, which is different. But so I thought it was good, not great. All right, moving on. Sebastian Maniscalco, Glen Powell played Dave, a groom-to-be at his bachelor party where one of his friends turns out to be flamboyant comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, played by Marcelo Hernandez. I'm really interested in what you guys thought of this. What did you think, Ben?
Is Sebastian a large enough stand-up comedian? That because Marcel has a great impression of him, but if you don't know who he is, it's just a weird thing to do.
I think
he's pretty big though, right?
I think he's pretty. I mean, yeah, he's like an arena comedian. So like I feel like he's
because we know a lot of stand-up. We listen to a lot of stand-up, so of course it's in our wheelhouse. But so is pop culture in general.
I do think that the writers of SNL were somewhat aware of that because they did make sure to slip in world famous comedian. So that just so you know, this guy is very famous.
Wait, your friend is world famous.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, so I really liked this sketch. There was something about it that felt weird, and I think it's that the reaction from the people in the sketch didn't feel like a realistic reaction, even comedically. Like it feels like there's more you can do with how you're reacting to Sebastian Maniscalco being there and what he's doing.
So the SNL's come under fire for always for like, oh, they stole that bit, and it's just a case of two people having a similar comedic idea, right? So there is a YouTube video or whatever or a reel going around that I saw months ago that is a guy doing Sebastian Maniscalco in real life, like in everyday situations, and acting like he would be on stage.
Oh, of course.
And it's very funny.
There's always somebody who's doing that.
And it went pretty viral, got a lot. And so I'm sure there would be the trolls out there probably, well, this is where they got that idea from. But,
yeah, because no one's ever done an impression of somebody famous and said, imagine how they would do in real life situations. It's a very original bit.
Exactly.
But no, this was the impression. I think in itself was enough to carry it, and it also had a good escalation by having Glen Powell start to do it along with him.
I like seeing that's where a good host is a great host because man, he was able to actually play that part and do it really well. The choreography was there, the accent was there, everything.
Yeah,
I mean, I disagree. I thought this was a sketch built around an impression, but there wasn't a great escalation to it. It just felt to me like, oh, Marcelo does a pretty good Sebastian, so we're going to make a sketch around that. And it just didn't ever, and I actually didn't love when Glen Powell was doing the same thing he was doing. I'm like, okay, so Glen Powell can kind of do it as well, but it just didn't make me laugh. It wasn't all that funny to me. Like, it was fine.
You're broken.
I really like the impression, especially because it was so physical too. Like,
I like
the way that
impression.
Marcelo was throwing around his body and like jumped over Jeremy Culhane. Like,
the jump over got me.
Yeah,
especially when you look at. Like, I watched this sketch 3 times because I watched it the first time, of course. You know, it was fun. I watched it the second time to watch the background actors and how they interacted.
Yeah.
And then I watched it just the third time for his interaction with is it Tommy was in there? Sorry, who was it sitting in the chair?
Culhane was on the far left.
So yeah, Culhane's on the far left, the one he jumped over.
Right.
So that interaction, if you go back and watch the beginning, Marcelo's hand is grazing his cheek and he's making eye contact. He's absolutely trying to get
break
him. Oh,
yeah.
it's an attempt, and I loved seeing that. It was so because you can see he is dying on the inside. They were having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I
don't like
feel
fun,
like
Nate?
no, I feel like this impression is really good in a Star Wars audition sketch.
I'm going to push back on that. I think it's better that they didn't try and just use the cavalcade of impressions framework to do it and did something that was a little more original and out of left field, because it's a strange premise, I'll give you that, but I like that they tried something like this as opposed to like, let's just figure out how to like fit a bunch of impressions into one thing, you know. I think that's what I appreciate about it.
And I don't think he is as big of a name as obviously he's pretty big in the comedy stand-up world.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of intersection with SNL. However, I don't think a lot of people we know, our friends, know who that is.
Sure. I think he's probably about as famous as most stand-up comedians who tour on that level.
Do you think he's like Shane Gillis famous?
Yeah, probably, honestly. I actually think more people probably know who Sebastian Maniscalco is than Shane Gillis.
Probably.
I don't think so. Only because Shane Gillis is big into like college football, NFL. Like I think a lot of guys know who Shane Gillis is.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Of sports world.
Like, I think that more people that are into comedy probably know who Sebastian is. More people that are just in the zeitgeist in general, who is a famous person, know who Shane Gillis is.
I think Sebastian Maniscalco has tapped into a certain market, though, of people, especially people with like ethnic families and stuff.
I bet
like
everyone
that.
in New Jersey knows who he is.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that makes sense. He's on the currency there.
All right.
Which is a Subway coin.
Yeah. All right. Listeners, let us know what you think. Did you love this sketch?
Not the restaurant.
Okay. I was
mode of transportation.
Mode of transportation.
Moving on, Norwegian movie. An American director, played by Mikey Day, directs 2 Norwegian actors, Glen Powell and Chloe Feynman, for a film. It also had Jane Wickline, Jeremy Culhane, and James Austin Johnson. This is a special sketch because Mikey Day reached his 700th sketch on SNL.
Dang.
And we talk a lot about Keenan, but Mikey Day's been on the show for a freaking long time.
He has.
So what did you think of this one?
No. I like this for the most part. It's a very simple premise. I'm not entirely sure what the inspiration is. The voices are definitely what make it, and the enthusiasm and the energy that they have after each take. And they did a very good job of being melodramatic, actors like that, and replicating what that feels like. I'm not sure that it was like laugh out loud funny. It felt more of like a sketch you might see at like a community theater like comedy thing, I guess. I will say my favorite part, I think, was Jane Wickline introducing everyone. Take one. But it was, it's fine. Not memorable.
There wasn't
not
enough
great.
escalation for me. Like it felt like, oh, this is funny right in the beginning, but it's like, oh, this is just what we're doing.
If anything, it was more charming than funny.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good word for that. Again, the impressions were fun. I loved that Glen Powell was having so much fun with this character and being silly. But I didn't it didn't do enough for me.
Yeah. I did like the escalation of bringing James Austin Johnson in as Stellan Skarsgård.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they were going to use the real Stellan Skarsgård or not.
But he looked like him. I'm like, oh.
No, and he got his voice pretty well too. It's a little bit gravelly and
So I thought this was brilliant.
Oh, you
I
loved
loved this.
Oh, really?
I really did.
And you laugh at anything.
No, the reason I think that I loved it so much is like I think that if you really dug into the ABCs of this, it's really hard to go from like hysterically laughing and being that energy and bringing it down to like fake a drama.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Not one person kept going too far in one direction or the other. It was like they were serious when they had to be serious, and then they cracked up when they were supposed to. That's a very stop and start thing to do, and that's hard.
Yeah.
So I think from a talent standpoint, Glen Powell, it was amazing to be able to do that. And then on top of that, the actual wackiness of like they were like, "Don't hit me with your boobies," like that was just silly and over the top. All of that really worked for me. I just thought it was funny, and I wonder. I watched him on Sean Evans on Hot Ones, Glen Powell, and he was talking about method actors. And Sean Evans asked him, "Are you that kind of guy that when they yell cut, you can just like come out of character and start talking?" And he goes, "Absolutely not. I'm not that guy.
Oh,
like
interesting.
I can't. I have to kind of stay in the moment. And like I'll be working with some veteran actors, and as soon as you yell cut, they're like, so your kids are what 7 and 10?
Yeah.
And then and action. I'm gonna kill, you know, and it's like he's like, I don't have that. And I wonder if anything, from that kind of interview, translates to like the impetus for the sketch. That's all.
Yeah, that's interesting.
MacGruber Epstein Files Part 1.
Man.
Will Forte, our guy, our boy, returned as MacGruber. He was joined by Glen Powell and Chloe Feynman, attempting to defuse a bomb. MacGruber reveals he has a copy of the Epstein investigation files, but quickly,
MacGruber doesn't. Glen Powell does.
Yeah, Glen Powell, but quickly changes his tune about releasing them when he realizes his own name appears in the documents, and he attempts to shred them instead. I was not expecting MacGruber.
I wasn't either, and
I don't think anybody was.
And I'm very curious to hear how this came about, and I'm sure they're going to talk about this on the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast. I do wonder if it's the kind of thing where Glen Powell specifically requested it because he maybe loves MacGruber so much.
I love that if he did.
I could easily see that being
the host
the
comes
case.
in and they say, "Hey, how familiar are you with the show? What are your favorites?
Yeah.
And in your dream thing, what would you want to do?" And he goes, "I would love to do MacGruber."
And like we could go Forte,
Yeah.
right? Like,
and I'm also interested to hear, especially from Yorma, about this because Yorma and John Solomon did come back as writers for this episode.
did it? Okay,
They were listed in the credits, so they are the ones who did the MacGrubers
So,
when they were on the
they're
show.
gonna be on the podcast.
Yeah, and so I'm especially because I don't know if Yorma's like in a good enough state that he can like go to SNL at this point, or he just like did it like virtually, remotely, and like wrote and then like contributed, direction.
For our
stuff
listeners,
like that.
what happened to Yorma?
Yeah, so if you don't listen to the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast, Yorma Taccone had a personal accident where he was basically like setting up his place for a birthday party for one of his kids, fell off a ladder while he was trying to hang some lights, and essentially broke his pelvis.
Oh,
and
Yeah,
so
did we talk about this already?
I think we might have
Months
vaguely
ago.
mentioned it, but
it
yeah.
happened a couple months ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so he's still
we did, yeah.
he's still appearing on the podcast, but he was in the hospital. He's in a wheelchair. He has a hard time getting around. He will be okay, but it's a pretty serious
It's a long
injury,
recovery.
and it could have been a lot worse.
Wow.
He's doing great, but so I'm curious. I can't wait to hear.
How'd the party go?
But I'm interested to hear how this came together. But so good to have MacGruber back. Will Forte still got it. Glen Powell being in there added a lot of fun to it as well.
Can I say this episode felt nostalgic a little bit to me at this point? Like
It also felt like it had a lot of energy behind it too, like a lot of momentum.
I was,
And I
I
think
was
that
loving
comes
it.
from Glen Powell.
I do
really
too.
do.
Yeah, no. We've talked about this before. There is an energy that comes from a host that understands the moment, right?
Yeah.
And Glen Powell understood the assignment. I could tell he was energetic. He was having so much fun.
Yeah, he was game for
Like,
anything. He really
yep.
put himself into the
Which is
like,
the
every
best
performance.
host, right?
Yeah.
When they're like, whatever you want me to do, right?
And it was very clear this episode, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Bob Army, Andrew Mukes played a new U.S. Army soldier discovering the Slay Division. Soldiers sporting bob haircuts and flamboyant attitudes. Did this work for you, Ben?
I don't know what I watched. I liked it. I didn't hate it, but I don't know what I watched.
No, I loved the sketch.
Did you?
I don't entirely know why either.
I
though.
don't know what I watched.
But it's so original and so weird and random and like.
But it was so well done.
Yes, incredibly well. It felt like such an original sketch, and like I don't know what the impetus was for
I
it.
don't either.
It almost felt like a sketch that easily could have like happened in like the early 2000s.
Yep.
It had
That's what I'm
that
saying,
vibe
nostalgia.
to it.
It was
like
MacGruber era. Like
yeah, and like
sketch.
I was floored when they brought in the second team with like the rest of the cast. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, so everyone's in this sketch.
And it's like, did somebody just say that they overheard somebody having a conversation about what's better, Bob's or
but
Bang?
there's so much depth to the personalities of the
Exactly.
soldiers and stuff like that. Also, by the way, my new sexual preference is whatever Sarah Sherman and Ashley Padilla were doing in this sketch because they were both crazy hot in it.
I would say the same thing about Cam Patterson.
No, this was so weird, so funny. I liked it a lot. It was it was great.
It was very off the wall. Very off the wall.
Yeah, that I was with you. I equally loved and like adored the sketch
I
and
was
almost hated it and like what is happening?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm enjoying myself, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if I'm going to get judged because this is a terrible sketch and I'm the only one that kind of enjoys it.
No,
Like,
I thought it was really fun.
Okay. Well,
Did you guys notice the Easter eggs?
it's about Thanksgiving, Brad.
Don't do that. Don't you go for this.
Don't you
I don't know
Not-
what you're talking about.
Not on this podcast.
By the way, just like the sketch, I don't know what you're talking about.
All of the name tags on the soldiers were the last names of writers.
Oh, fun.
Aw.
By the way, comment here from the subreddit about this sketch from
Live from New York.
yeah, live from New York. This is from Burnetsky92. In quotes, this sketch is so stew. Ashley Padilla enters in a short skirt and combat boots. I really should judge. It has its charm.
Yep. 100%.
Hundo P on that one.
And fishnets to boot.
Oh, okay, calm down.
I love this sketch.
I didn't even notice that. You creep.
Yeah, you did.
All right, it is time for a very, very short weekend update. Colin Jost and Michael Che delivered jokes without any guest correspondence. This is a very rare occurrence. When was the last time this happened, by the way?
March of 2024.
You looked this up, too.
Yeah. Also, it is only 3% of episodes of SNL have not had any weekend update correspondence.
Yep.
Wow.
And we're going to do the Bradometer real quick. Listeners that know this is a score that Brad gives us based on the chemistry of the hosts, the jokes. There's a lot of stuff that goes in here. None of it makes sense. It's not scientific at all, but for Brad, it makes sense. And Ben and I try to guess what the Bradometer score will be in each episode. So Brad is writing down right now what the Bradometer score is. And we
It's a lot of
will
typing.
commence.
No, I'm trying to figure out.
You know, it can only be two numbers. Well, three, I guess, but two probably.
It's 0 to 100. You have it locked in? You really
By the way,
trying
Ben,
hard this time.
do you get upset when they make Bill Cosby jokes?
No.
No, I wish they would make fun of him harder.
I just know he's a big fan. All right. So this was a very short. It was only like 6 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was a quick hit, but it's still.
But it was
they
a
interacted a lot.
good 6 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
I felt
going
like
to 84.
That's a
gonna
good
go
one.
80.
I'll
I'm
go
going
with
84.
85.
You're both over. I went with 83.
Oh, so close though.
I'll take that.
I feel like that's pretty good for
Yeah, I'll
us,
take
right? We were probably right. So Brad, unpack your 83.
It was a tight weekend update, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity here. But they did have
Bam,
some.
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
though.
they did have some good back and forth. Obviously, there's the joke at the end about Colin Jost being Hitler's grandson.
Yep.
So that was
The
a
picture
good
in
one.
picture got it up there a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. So there was that's most of what it is. But like the there's it's a lot of it with this time was like glancing and like smirking at each other.
Well, and
you know?
also like Che did the same joke twice, right? Same premise. And he's
Right.
like, I got another one.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll go with that first one.
Yeah,
Like even
I
though he's
love
not
it
talking
when
to
he does that
Colin,
one.
Yeah.
he's still talking at the audience
Yeah,
about it, and like
exactly.
him saying like, this
Well-
is my favorite episode ever.
I also love when Che does like the manipulated Trump audio, right? And then it's a
that
Che
was
thing,
great.
and they
Everybody
they
knows
pan,
I went down on Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
That
they,
was awesome.
They pan to Jost, who has to do the next joke, and he's laughing, and they're having fun. So
and some of this stuff, I often wonder if Jost is just this good at reacting and like creating the right vibe, or if sometimes he really is didn't know like certain things were coming.
I mean, he could be very good, but I truly feel like he's able to just read it and kind of break, not break as he's reading.
Yeah.
The come on thing.
Not even the stuff
For the
that he
first
reads
time?
himself, but some of the stuff that Che says about him.
Right. And then
you
he's
know?
like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need to see that joke, really.
Right.
No,
So maybe they choose that.
and I always
It makes for a great television.
so Michael Che will make a groaning joke, and it's oftentimes either sexist or maybe even racist. Who knows, right? He's gonna say, but he also has this,
Give us an example.
he also does that other element of his groaning jokes, which are just dad jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Terrible puns.
makes no sense joke, which just I'm
Yeah.
like, that's so dumb. I'm
It's
laughing.
a great
Like,
joke, though. I'm laughing hard.
So I really, again, it was
Because you go
short.
from the making sense joke to the Abraham Lincoln gets shot in the head joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are pretty. There's a dichotomy there.
No, but he pulls it off, and I don't know. I was maybe because this episode had so much charm for me. Like
Yeah.
it had MacGruber, Glen Powell was just doing his thing.
Yeah. Actually, Padilla and fishnets on a skirt.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It just felt good to me. It felt like an old episode of SNL, kind of. It just felt really fun.
For me, what I particularly liked about this edition of Weekend Update was how hard they hit Trump with the Epstein stuff this week. There was the one of my favorite ones was the calling Donald Trump the Forrest Gump of famous pedophiles.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I also like how much was like 3. You might have 1, right?
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then the even though he has a whole team of people taking stuff from Home Depot all the time.
Oh, it's a good joke.
So let's talk briefly about Len. Okay, so Epstein is obviously in the news. They're going to talk about it. Look at the different ways that they did it. I liked what they did in Weekend Update, making the jokes that they made. They had some clever kind of angles to it. I also love what they're doing with MacGruber, right, with Epstein. So much different than Cold Open, right? Cold Open just felt it's like that didn't create an angle to a current story that was clever but also pointed, right? It just felt like it was just kind of parodying some of the just regular stuff that Trump would say, and just maybe turn it up just slightly more. And so I like what they've done with MacGruber and Weekend Update.
Are they falling into the trap of that thing of, well, let's see what SNL is going to say about this, so they have to do it, and so they're saving the meteor stuff for later? Because like why would you lead in with something when you have a better way? Like you could have done the Cold Open, could have been MacGruber.
I mean, they've been doing this for a long time now. It's just
why?
like Weekend Update always has jokes about things, even if they are stuff that was in the political Cold Open or any other political.
What
sketch.
I'm saying is like, why isn't it more biting to open? Like it's never biting.
I think right now it's just the idea that they feel like they have to do political stuff at the top of the show unless they have like absolutely nothing.
But I don't feel like anybody's asking them to. I feel like that's a rule that they're creating.
It is 100%. It is.
You know, that none of us. I mean, from the subreddit.
I think that they think that most people, like not necessarily us, but like the general audience is expecting it.
I'm not.
And ever since the debates with Bush and Gore, and then Palin and Hillary and all them, it just became so much more
like
of a staple.
the default setting.
Yeah.
No, and you look back at some of the best political commentary sketches they did, where they're making light of a situation that's going on. I look back at when Will Ferrell played George W. Bush.
Yeah.
And I think Dana Carvey was George Sr., and they did that sketch.
The hunting one.
Yes. And then there was a fishing one, too, I think, right? Was that where they're sitting on a dock, I think? There was another one.
Yeah, you're right.
That.
Yeah.
And it was so clever the way they did that, because that wasn't a scene that actually happened.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so you look at that and you're like, oh, they're making fun of, or they're making light of something that we all know, but they're creating this new type of awareness of it and their new scene around it. They're creating a kind of a narrative around it that doesn't exist, but that it could.
Yeah. They used to be more creative with the political stuff. They do it every now and then, but like you think about,
I miss it, I guess is what I'm saying.
like think about stuff like Janet Reno's dance party, you know, like things like that. Like it's such a weird thing, but they would do like different stuff with political figures in it, and not just trying something that is, you know, replicating a press conference or, you know, a Fox News segment or something like that.
Is that where Downey really came in helpful? Maybe.
Oh, 100%.
I
mean, and Downey was king of like all the political stuff, the debates, and you know, all that kind of thing. And I'm sure, you know, since he's not there anymore, it's not as sharp as it used to be.
Yeah, I guess I I love what they're doing. What they write on Cold Open is 100 times better than anything I could do. I guess I just miss those angles, right?
Yep, I agree.
Because I think that's good commentary. All right, moving on. Taken Airport. Glen Powell played Liam Neeson's Brian character from the Taken franchise, returning from Paris with his rescued daughter and encountering his ex-wife and her new wimpy husband, Dennis, played by Andrew Smukes, who was just delightful. In this
I loved
sketch.
Andrew Smukes.
What did you think of this one,
I
buddy?
love Dismukes. Dismukes makes this.
It's so
it's
good.
all Dismukes all day. It's only him. That's all I'm watching. This is like Glen Powell and Chloe Fineman being in front of the Waffle House and Dismukes being behind the glass. You're only there to watch him.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
And he just kept on escalating it.
Gosh,
and it's hard to do, right? You know where the sketch is going right away. You know where it's going to go right away. They telegraph, he's the wimpy husband to Liam Neeson, but he still manages to escalate it.
Gotta get that real ID.
What did you think
Don't
of this
lose that.
one? What did you think of this one?
No, it was a lot of fun. It did feel like it was a little rough to start, but once it got rolling, and then the back half I thought really came through.
Also, did he hurt himself?
No, I think
It looked
felt
bad.
the same way.
I don't think so. I think he just hit the podium so
It
well
was
that
great.
it worked.
It looked hard though.
No,
Good for him.
I felt the same way. I'm like, he didn't fall off out of the lens too far.
It was just
I feel like he actually
a
did
real
throw
pet
himself
fall
down.
for sure.
Yeah.
So really enjoyed this one. I laughed a lot. Again, it's been a great episode. All right, pre-record MacGruber Epstein Files Part 2. Glen Powell and Chloe Fineman return as MacGruber attempts more desperately to destroy and doctor the Epstein documents while the bomb ticks down, failing again. Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys thought he was actually going to get it, but he didn't.
No, he's not very good.
And my favorite thing is just listening to the song in the beginning, how it's going to change.
Yeah.
But what did you think of this one? Did you anything in this one that kind of made you laugh more than the first one?
No, I mean it's the fact that they do this with Epstein Files is hilarious, and the fact that it turns the typical MacGruber formula slightly on its head by having the bomb not go off, and then he's trying to make it go off.
Yeah, no, it's very clever. Will Forte still got it, man.
All right, Melissa's haircut. Ashley Padilla played Melissa, who joins friends at a sorry, I'm laughing just thinking about this. Who joins friends at a restaurant after receiving a disastrous haircut from designer hairdresser John Vaughn. Ashley Padilla
Is a delight.
A treasure.
Yeah.
is so funny.
This shows an entirely different set of comedic chops for her, because it's such a unique performance to act happy and sound sad and concerned and worried.
And anxious.
I don't know. I'm gonna kill myself.
It
gives those Will Ferrell vibes.
The expressions on her face of her smiling through wanting to cry, just brilliant stuff.
Oh my word! My word!
Such a great physical performance on her face. The delivery of her lines,
she carried this.
I like it.
No, it's good. No, it's just I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy.
It was just fantastic, and the wig looked amazing. Got credit where credit's due. But
if you're in a place where you have 5 people with this haircut screaming about killing Mickey Mouse, well then you're at the show.
Did you? I went and listened to actually the Mickey Mouse Killers after this, and it does fit the bill.
I knew that they were a real band, by the way. I totally do. Yeah, totally real band.
Yeah, they're not a real band.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Totally made it up.
I was say I didn't listen. But again, it is such an incredible thing. And Marcelo had this his second season as well. But Ashley Padilla, her second season, has really just you trust her in sketches.
And honestly, I think that she's getting her time to shine a little bit more because Heidi's not there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Because I think there's
Heidi and Ego even there's less female cast members. They're really relying on.
And
her
I
for
think
a
that
lot.
there's some of these parts that probably might have gone to Heidi instead, who probably could have done similar performances.
Oh, for sure.
But different though. It'd have been different though.
For sure. But yeah, man, this sketch was so funny. Mikey Day coming out of I don't like it.
I'm gonna go get you another server.
Yeah.
That was great.
No, I love this. I am just so impressed that again, because everyone else is essentially just tools in this tool shed for the sketch. She carries every bit of this and just killed it.
Yeah.
All right. Last MacGruber, Epstein Files Part 3, the final MacGruber installment. Having survived the previous explosions, MacGruber admits his name appears all over the files.
Every third page is where my name isn't.
Confesses to being on Epstein's island and selling watered-down cocaine. Again, I loved that MacGruber came back. I loved the angle they took to this. It was just, I loved the songs. It was such a great little run of 3 MacGrubers here.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. No, they don't go to this well all that often.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just perfect timing, even though it was apropos of nothing really. Just and the being able to bring the Epstein files into it, and that's a perfect setup for MacGruber to be the foil. Like, yeah, it's a really perfect setup.
All right, that's the episode. Let's talk a little bit about highlights here. Who would you give the MVP cast member of this episode?
I'm super torn on this because, on one hand, I do think Glen Powell deserves it.
If you say, on the other hand, Ashley Padilla's fishnets, you're off the show.
I thought that he would be good. I think he did exceed my expectations. He had such an ease of performing, so many different characters, was very clearly game for anything, had a lot of fun, didn't flub his lines, did a really good job. But he's on the cusp of being one of those performers who I knew would do a good job, but he just did a slightly better job than I anticipated. So I almost want to give it to him. On the other hand, I do think Ashley Padilla had an incredible episode. She was very funny throughout, had a lot of big main roles in the sketches, and did a really good job. And she showed a different side than we had seen of her do before, when she was very clearly the MVP as well. So yeah, I'm torn on that, and I'm not entirely sure who I want to give it to.
I'm giving it to Glen Powell. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you look at the show as a whole, I try to switch him out with somebody else that wouldn't have been as good.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of those sketches would have most likely bombed, except for the Padilla with the hair.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, because he did a lot of choreography here. And so if you screw up the choreography, even in the Sebastian Maniscalco sketch, you could screw that up. There's a lot of high wire stuff for a guy first time hosting. Like, he nailed it.
Yeah.
And then he brought the energy. You could tell the energy was up the whole thing. And every sketch was there wasn't a dud in the bunch, really. Like, there was maybe ones that weren't as funny, but even the Bob and Bangs thing, it was just weird. It wasn't not funny.
Yeah.
So like every sketch was good, and he had a lot to do.
The one thing that I'm not giving it to him, though, I think he had an incredible episode. Like, he was great. I can't wait for him to come back. I think he could have a great SNL career. The only thing I would say, and maybe why I wouldn't give it to him, is I don't think he had to carry any of the sketches. I think he did well in all of the sketches, but you look at the Sebastian sketch, and Marcelo carried that
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't think he had to carry any of the sketches himself. And so, whereas you look at a Justin Timberlake, he had sketches where he carried. He was that good.
Yeah.
He carried that sketch, right? What was the one where what was the cast member from Abbott Elementary?
Oh, Quinta Brunson.
Quinta Brunson. She carried the sketch. Like, there were sketches where they carry, right? Where they literally do the heaviest lifting in that sketch. I don't know if he had that in this episode.
I think that in the Norwegian thing that I really liked.
Yeah, but that wasn't funny though.
It was very funny. Get out of here. And I think that in the even in the Maniscalco size, he had the opportunity though to screw that up though. They gave him a lot to do, and not only did he not screw it up, it made it better.
But I guess I'm not fully disagreeing with you.
So who's your MVP?
Ashley Padilla. I think she had another incredible sketch or incredible night. I think she just continues to do some things. And what I loved about this one is I felt like the haircut sketch was a side of her we still haven't seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? She's filling out some of the things that she could do. She's not just one dimensional, kind of classic white girl, can play moms and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I thought I thought it was great, but I did really feel like it was just a little bit more of an escalation on the surprise party farting thing.
No,
it was kind of similar. It wasn't.
I can see that, but
it's not a stark difference from that.
I get what you're saying, but I think it's a more difficult performance
emotionally
to convey two
I agree.
completely different emotions at the same time.
But I think that there's a lot of elements shared there with the like not getting it right,
But
and like trying to make everybody like I'm not wrong, you're wrong type thing.
Here's where I would say slightly different. The farting thing is naturally funny because farting is funny. Like I'm serious.
Bad haircuts are naturally funny, Nate.
Bad haircuts, though, it is funnier for women who have been through bad haircuts like that, and I asked my girlfriend Molly about that,
too.
And you try to pretend
That's more than normal, though, you know.
And you try to convince yourself it's a good haircut, right? That is the thing. But it was universally funny. She took an experience that I think a lot of women have gotten, and she made it universally funny, and the physical comedy of it all.
So Glen Powell was your MVP.
Was so good. And so I think it was different than the fart sketch.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
she did something different there.
Okay, fair enough.
She was great. She was great in the cold open. I thought she was the best thing about the cold open.
No, Ashley Padilla is wonderful.
I don't know why you don't like her.
But, so happy.
But again, all that to say, Glen Powell had a freaking great episode.
Yeah. I want to see him back as soon as
see him
possible.
back
With a FedEx driver this time.
What about MVP? Or sorry, sketch of the night. What would you guys say?
That's a good question.
I'm going haircut. I really did like it.
I feel like you did.
You just
Oh, no.
shit on for being that.
No.
I feel like,
No.
Are you a little surprised that he said haircut?
I love that, but I also love it because just like I loved the surprise party, and it was like more of the same of that, and that's why I liked it a lot.
I'm going with MacGruber.
Which one?
It's hard. Oh,
It's one.
Oh well, that's okay. I'm going with all three sketches that this week was in.
MacGruber's always separated.
Whatever. Okay, fine.
Same thing.
Cool.
okay.
Idiot. Useless.
MacGruber, but I'm gonna say for me, honorable mention was Taken Airport because I thought Dismukes was just so freaking funny.
It was
that
funny.
one.
This episode really benefited from Glen Powell. Just the energy it had, and just it really felt like it was constantly moving.
Not enough for MVP.
And like
No, but again, Taken Airport, right? Glen Powell did a okay Liam Neeson impression. He was good in this. He wasn't bad, but that was carried by Andrew Dismukes.
True.
Right?
True story.
So,
and also you're ugly.
He's not though. Glen Powell's a handsome man. You take that back.
But yeah. So thanks to Ashley Padilla's fishnets.
Jesus.
for sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah.
I like that you were like, whatever Sarah Sherman and Ashley Padilla were doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my new sexual
It
preference.
unlocked something in me. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't get it.
What do we have coming up? Anything?
We got a break.
We do have a little bit of a break, but we also know exactly who is hosting the first episode of December, and it's quite a surprise because, as far as I can tell, she doesn't have anything that like makes her like promoting anything like a new movie or a new
Judi
show.
Dench.
Melissa McCarthy is coming back on December 1st. She is one of my favorite hosts for sure. People love when she comes to the show, both the audience and the cast
absolutely.
and writers.
Talk about bringing energy.
Yeah, seriously, always something fun. She's game for anything. She does big performances. She's hilarious. I cannot wait to see what we have in store
Last
here.
she was on last she was on SNL was the 50th, right?
Yeah.
And she stole that sketch.
She did.
She was so good.
rubbing
there.
her boobs on the milkshake window.
So
and
funny. So funny.
I'm looking at her IMDb page right now, and I cannot find anything.
Yeah, she hasn't done anything since 2019.
I checked. That's not true. I checked. She has some things that are in development, but nothing that's coming out immediately.
It's unspeakable. The Murders of Jean-Benet Ramsey. She plays Patsy Ramsey, and that's not even produced yet.
Yeah, the last thing that she was in, honestly, I think was in 2024. So
she was in an episode of Only Murders in the Building in 2024.
No, that episode was actually in. It was before that, wasn't it? Oh no, that was last season, last year. Yeah, you're right.
How
and then
dare you?
She was in Unfrosted in 2024. Too.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
But yeah, the last kind of starring big thing she was in is 2023 Christmas movie. Was it Christmas? I forget. Genie.
Yeah, no one saw it.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
But yeah, so I don't care though.
No, if anything, I'm glad that they're going to host like this, even if they don't have a big movie coming out, because studios aren't making big comedies anymore. So yeah, please bring people like this back all the time.
Yes.
And I'm ready for some holiday episodes. I
know you are, buddy. I know you love the Christmas time.
I love Christmas.
You love Christmas, don't you?
You got so many poinsettias on the stage.
Do you think that they're going to bring Timmy C back? Because Marty Supreme's coming out soon.
Do you think Timmy Chalamet?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
As long as they bring Pete Davidson back again.
tell me.
They didn't last time.
I know they're due.
Brad, for our listeners that don't know, Brad works at Slash Film. He's an editor there. What's coming out in December that might maybe bring some people out?
Jay Kelly is coming out with George Clooney and Adam Sandler, so that could offer some interesting possibilities. There is a new Knives Out movie that has quite a big cast, so we're talking about Daniel Craig, Josh Brolin.
Daniel Craig would be fun back.
Glenn Close, who is always hilarious.
The hilarious Glenn Close.
Josh O'Connor actually would be a big one. He's very popular right now. All the ladies are really, really getting crazy over him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Avatar, a new Avatar movie's coming out, so maybe Zoe Saldana. Or
they didn't have Jacob Elordi back for Frankenstein, so
that's true. Yeah,
it's a tough loss for us.
Okay, give me both of you guys. Give me, because I feel like they've been kind of accentuating like comedians right now. Give me a comedian that you think maybe they could pick.
That's a really good question.
Because I think, again, like...
Tim Robinson.
That's great
I
one.
would love to see Tim Robinson.
As soon as I thought of it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's the answer.
That would be of course that would be
Chair
amazing.
Company's out right now, too. Bring him back.
Yeah.
Let him have fun.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I wonder what those bridges are like.
What?
I wonder what those bridges are like. You know,
Oh,
did
yeah.
anybody either way make it weird on the way out, you know?
I've never heard him say any... I actually have never heard him talk about SNL.
Oh, no, they're always willing to talk. Tim Robinson and Zach Cannon were actually just on Seth Meyers recently, and they talked about some of the sketches they did that got cut and stuff like that. So, yeah, they don't have any problem talking about-
Basketball.
Man, yeah. That's just an all-timer right there.
Um,
Ask John Tesh. Like, it literally reinvigorated some of his career.
Oh, fun bit. I don't think that I mentioned this on the last episode because I don't think it came out until after we recorded last time. But I could be wrong. Did I talk about the Mikey Day thing and Close Encounters on SNL 50?
Yes,
Yes,
you did. Yes, you did.
Yep.
That Spielberg was going to be on it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that is the episode. We'd love to hear what you thought. Who was your
Do you
MVP?
have any comments about any other fundraiser songs we'd love from the 80s? We would love to hear them.
Again, if you made that comment and you want to explain it,
Don't.
love to hear a little bit more about that. But also, you can comment.
If you have different comments, put those there.
Yeah, we would like to read.
We'll read it
things
on the podcast,
Hey, you know
maybe.
what? If we read a comment that makes sense next time, you all win.
Yeah. And we'll send you, I don't know,
We don't care.
ticket.
We also have another podcast, and we'll be putting some new episodes out in the next couple of weeks as well. If you're a listener of Go Flix Yourself, know that we'll be back here next week with a new episode of Go Flix Yourself. If you haven't listened to Go Flix Yourself yet, please do.
Yeah.
Subscribe to that as well.
And we promise we'll get around to MacGruber. Ben and Nate kind of fucked that up with this new schedule, but we still got to do our
We messed it
MacGruber
up.
episode.
We messed it up. There's kids listening.
Mhm.
I've never seen a child.
In ever?
No, listening to a podcast.
No, just never seen a child.
But again, Go Flix Yourself. Subscribe to that as well. We talk about our favorite films, and we review trailers. We have a lot of fun talking, maybe playing a game or two. And then Brad and I get to talk about TV shows we like.
No.
Mm-hmm. And you guys get to try yummy treats.
And we get to try treats. Lots of fun. Lots of shenanigans.
Check it out.
But we'll be back next week on Go Flix Yourself, and we'll be back next month for another episode of the 10 to 1. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Nope.
What?
Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Bye-bye.